Hello everyone, today is Sunday, February 27th, 2022. Residents drag council to court over Chinese miner. This article is taken from the Zimbabwean newspaper Newsday. Mutare residents have dragged their local authority to court for allowing a Chinese quarry mining company, Freestone Mines, to operate in the sacred Dangamvura Mountain. The United Mutare Residents and Ratepayers Trust cited Mutare City and Freestone Mines as respondents, respectively, in an application filed on Thursday through the Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights. Mutare City Council has leased its 6.5 hectare stand situated on Dangamvura Mountain to the Chinese miner for a 10-year period. That's a long time. According to the lease agreement, the company will pay an annual fee of $7,557, which is not that much. I'm sure it's a good sum in Zimbabwe. I'm going by American standards, of course, but still, it's not much for such a large mine. I don't know if it's gold or what. I imagine it's gold. And if it is gold, I'm not fond of letting these multinational companies come in and mine for gold or many other minerals or what have you, when artisanal and small-scale miners can do the same thing and collect, on average, about half the amount that these corporations do. But it's better for the environment, and it's better for your community because they're self-employed and they're not relying on these foreigners coming in and bossing them around and telling them how much they're going to make. Many times these employees are abused. So I'm not fond of this mine to begin with. I don't care if it's an Australian or Canadian mine. That's a huge corporation. I would prefer to have my own miners, artisanal and small-scale miners, mine for the same thing and extract 40 to 50% of what these large corporations extract, but they're self-employed, which makes them happier. Instead of being abused, and you have these contracts and you can't get rid of these people. They're not paying taxes half the time. Residents have since blocked the mining venture, citing environmental concerns. See what I said? After the miners started operating without an environmental impact assessment certificate. The court has been asked to declare as illegal and invalid the lease agreement entered into by City of Mutare and Freestone Mines, as it offends the law and does not represent the interests of the residents of Mutare, part of the application read. And another problem I have with this mine is these citizens shouldn't have to take this Chinese business to court. Every mine should be validated if it's usable or leasable or whatever its status is, or if it can't be used, whatever. There shouldn't be any gray areas here when it comes to these mines. And to the credit of, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, the DRC government, Tshisekedi, I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Tshisekedi, I believe is how it's pronounced. But the president of DRC, he just, I I don't know if he started it or not, but he just a few weeks ago said that he was going to classify all of the mines of the DRC. And that's what all African um, governments should do because of of how many mines they have and how valuable, excuse me, they are to their economies, and they should classify them. You know, I mean, we have the technology to say exactly what the coordinates are, and when I say coordinates, I mean on the globe. You have coordinates. You know, you have the lines. I'm sure you've seen them, the prime meridian and all that stuff. And then you have some, going different directions. And so, on every location, a square meter on the, or you could say square yard on land, on any given land, you have grid coordinates. So and it's GPS technology. You just have the GPS gadget, and it'll tell you exactly what the coordinates are. And so you have that, and then you should have the qualified personnel to say if it can be leased, or if it's sacred land and it can't be leased, etc. Every single mine should be classified. And so I don't understand what is going on here. And there is too much power in the hands of these local chiefs too. I mean, as in the case of Ghana, and which is why we witnessed a lot of rivers being polluted with the mining equipment and supplies used by the mining companies, the large mining corporations, or maybe they weren't large, but just mining companies, usually Chinese. And it's the chiefs, the local chiefs, who allowed them to go there. So and then the president, finally gets involved, but these are things that shouldn't be left up to local chiefs. Some of them can be corrupt, and we found that many of them are corrupt. So this is a job for the government, the national government of every African country, to make sure that all of the mines are accounted for. And if they're not, do an investigation. This should not occur. The first respondent, city of Mutare, entered into a lease agreement with the second respondent, Freestone Mines, on August 30th, 2021. But the terms and conditions of the lease agreement are so clearly and manifestly unreasonable, maybe because of just $7,000, and uneconomic for a sensible person or a right-thinking person representing public interest to agree to such. And you know what probably is the case? They're corrupt, and they took money on the side because of how little they're getting paid, or the people in general. This money probably goes to the whole community, which is nothing. But the chiefs are actually getting all the money. That's what I'm getting from this. I could be wrong, but that's surely what seems to be the case. It appears the first respondent never exercised its mind to the issues affecting environment rights of the residents. See? A few hundred meters from the intended quarry site exists an old and abandoned quarry mine site that used to be operated by a local company but was abandoned when its effects were felt by residents of Dangamvura. There are those within our organization and within Mutare who believe that Dangamvura mountain is sacred. Such views should not be wished away.